Kiana Smith, and there's a special player, Asia Shepard, who is 8 points away from becoming Virginia Tech's all-time leading scorer. We will keep you honest with that. And we are underway. Haley Van Lith gets the basketball first for this Louisville Cardinal team.
Yeah, no doubt Haley is one of their leaders. I love watching her play, but watching her today and seeing how vocal she was and how comfortable she is leading, very impressive.
Impressive start for Kiana Smith in her second year, one of 3 seniors who were celebrated before the game, including Chelsea Hall, number 23. And we see Louisville's press after the make. And for Virginia Tech, Amor, Kitley, Shepard, the big 3. But Kayla King, one of those who can fill it up from 3. Virginia Tech's the best 3-point shooting team in the league, averaging 9 per game. And right away, King sends one up. And then Engsler, who always seems to be in the thick of things, ties her up.
This is going to be a good coaching game to watch. You can see Coach Walls. Right now, that's a one-on-one play with Liz inside. They're staying at home on those 3-point shooters, kind of prioritizing that early in this game.
Amor, a little bit of trouble getting it in. And Louisville's able to come away with it. Louisville known for its tenacious defense. As you take a look at their starting 5, Engsler drawing contact. The Syracuse transfer. Smith started her career at Cal. Hall was at Vandy. But boy, Liv Cochran has really come on lately as well.
Oh, there's no question. And when you watch that play, Emily did a great job. Just a slight adjustment so that there was a closeout. Now she's got north-south ability. She is athletic and can be very creative on the bounce.
Rosanna Baines called for the foul, and Engsler does have 1 more year of eligibility left, but is going to go ahead and test the WNBA and the pro markets. Has done a terrific job getting herself fit, and wanted to come to Louisville, wanted to get to a program that could help her become a better pro.
Well, she is interesting from a defensive standpoint. She is a player that you could ask to guard multiple positions at the next level. She's got all those kinds of abilities. Offensively, there's still some work, but boy, she's good defensively.
Cochran called for the foul out on the perimeter. Yeah, Engsler leads the ACC, in fact, in steals, also blocks a lot of shots.
Yeah, very impressive to watch her there. Very impressive, too, just to see how she's got her body in a different kind of shape. And I think that only leads to her future and her ability to play more minutes and to be even more athletic.
Kitley with the miss. There's Engsler. This is what she can do.
Yeah.
Rebound and go. Kiana Smith guarded out there by Shepard. Here's Hall. And it gets tipped in. Kitley and Cochran were both underneath the bucket. And the ball went in the hoop.
Boy, a lot of early work by Cochran. You can see that her advantage is going to be physically. And Liz is going to have to really step out and get a clean block out. But boy, that was a powerful tip in.
Virginia Tech still looking for its first points. Let's go back to that last offensive play.
Yeah, look at the early work here. See Cochran step there? That's the early work I'm talking about. She's actually blocking Liz out in that situation, and that is good interior basketball.
King left open. Engsler closed very quickly. Here comes Hall. Smith.
I just kind of wanted to watch that, man, to be honest with you. That crossover was pretty deadly right there. But Smith has the ability to go north-south. And if she can get that opportunity like we just saw, she's going to be awfully successful today.
Virginia Tech finally hits a shot after missing their first 3, and that's Kayla King. 92% of every shot she's ever taken has been a 3 in her career at Tech.
For good reason.
Yeah.
But what impressed me was her ability to move without the ball, to realign. And Liz really plays for that well.
Haley Van Lith with a nice fadeaway. Leading this team in scoring, just over 13 points a game, as you see. Good for 13th in the ACC. Amor, the Australian point guard, Gets it into Kitley, who's still working hard. Got fouled. And that's 2 on Cochran.
Yeah, that's a huge point right there. You can see Coach Walls immediately going to his bench. But she got a hard guard. When you look at Liz inside, see, look at that footwork. See how she got that foot there? You know, watching her develop, she's great on the follow away. She is still developing that, but I'm not real sure that was a foul, Pam.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Cochran, though, sits down with the 2 personal fouls. And Kitley at the free throw line started off miserably. Only was hitting about 38% in the non-conference, and now over 90% since. And, of course, she goes 1 of 2 on that trip. And there you see the numbers. That's just astonishing.
It really is. And you spoke to Coach Brooks about this, and I thought it was great coaching. Why don't you relate that story?
Yeah, it was as Van Lith is fouled by King. Kenny Brooks, she was hitting all of her free throws in practice, but what he did, he changed her free throw routine. She had been dribbling it 3 or 4 times, and he said, just get there, take a dribble like you're taking a shot from the floor, and it was almost like he tapped her with a magic wand. Because just changing that routine worked.
Well, think about her strengths in the post. She has one of the best fall-away jump shots, which is a rhythm kind of finish. And he took that strength and put it into her free throw. I just think that's really good coaching.
Yeah, it was happened right before the ACC season got underway. The Florida State game back in mid-December, and since then Kitley has been a different player at the line. And she does take a lot of free throws, so that's an important component.
Well, you can see defensively, what a great job. You know, they are really putting pressure on the perimeter, and they are trying to get Liz to catch the ball off the block a little bit.
Angsler 3.
We're just early looking at the Cardinals. They are locked in. They are locked in this early portion of the game.
Yeah, right now they're looking like the team that could get to the Final Four, not one that would lose in the second round. As Amor looks over at Coach Kenny Brooks. And they have their own Liz. Liz Dixon, number 22, who's able to sub in for Cochran. That's quite a luxury with Cochran on the bench with foul trouble. Van Lith just finds a little bit of room. Lefty has it cup out. Angsler just when you think you have a rebound, Angsler sticks her hands in there. Almost took it away.
And just a great job of helping down, getting the loose ball. When the Cardinals can play in full court, they're on all cylinders.
History of this program, giving up fewer than 55 points per game on average, and Virginia Tech has gone over 2.5 minutes without a field goal. They just have the 1-3 by King and a free throw by Kitley to show for the first 5 minutes of work.
Yeah, and you can see the full court pressure. I think the Cardinals will go into that just to take some time off the clock. But the 3 is back.
And that was a 3 hit by Kayana Traylor, a Purdue transfer. He was hit 33% from the outside. Virginia Tech so reliant on that 3 ball. Kitley able to come up with that rebound. Emily Lytle, number 24 in black, also checking in. Along with Deasia Gregg. And interesting, out of that timeout, Coach Kenny Brooks putting in some reserves.
Yeah,
3 of them.
Went to his bench. You know, the Hokies are not going to panic. They've had enough success. They know who they are. They just have got to get into a rhythm of playing to it. And you can see how quickly things can turn. And all of a sudden, it's 13-9 now.
That foul was on Liz Dixon away from the action. That is her first of the game. And dribbling into trouble. Traylor lost it. Van Lith. Nice. That's some nifty stuff.
I love it. that's a creative finish, you know. And as I watch Haley play, and I mean, she jumped out as a freshman, but every year I see a little addition to her game, and I certainly see that in her creativity offensively.
Offensive rebound leads to the putback. Lytle into the game, a grad transfer from Liberty, and at the 4 position has been sort of a fluid situation for Tech this year. Lytle has started some games, coming off the bench now.
Yeah.
Mikasa Robinson. Boy, a couple of big offensive boards, and they still can't put it home.
Good looks. You know, the kind you usually walk away with too. See the denial out there, just not letting it easily go side to side. This Hokie offense is very good when the ball moves freely and they have the ability to catch and shoot.
It's very reliant on that kind of movement, isn't it? And
yeah.
Kitley has been bottled up. Van Lith brings help, and that induces a trap.
Well, and it's a little bit of a cat and mouse there. You know, very clever. I thought Haley did a great job. Am I coming? Am I not coming? And that's what you want to do. You don't want predictability, you know, and I think that's just a great, very cerebral look at making a post player think about, well, am I doubled or not?
Kitley leading this Tech team 17.5 points per game, leading the ACC 54% from the floor, but has not found any room so far on the offensive end. Inside 2 minutes to go in the first, and a whistle before the block on Alana Smith's drive.
Well, you just love the coordination. You look at Dixon right there, and she had the ability to wait till that back cut was made.
And it sends Alana Smith to the line. Coming up, the history of ACC basketball continues on the ACC Network. Episodes 5 and 6. New episodes of the 10-part documentary available every Monday through March 7th. And you can always watch past episodes on the ESPN app. That's the tournament, a history of ACC men's basketball. And quite a history it has been.
Oh, it sure is. And where would we be without the ESPN app? I mean, that's an every night occurrence for my wife and I.
Is that a good thing for your wife?
She loves basketball.
Yeah,
she wanted to marry a coach, but that is, you know, we go through and we look, who's playing, you know, and
that's great.
And absolutely get a lot of use out of that.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine not having it now.
Yeah.
And right now, Virginia Tech only down 5, even with the offensive struggles. Yes, that's Traylor coming in off the bench.
That timeout and substitution by Coach Brooks, you can see the benefit from it. He not only had public conversation, he had the ability to change the lineup. And boy, is it, they responded. Look at that drive. That's just toughness. And you got to have that playing the Cardinals. You got to have that toughness. She not only got around, but she turned the corner and got into the paint.
And the Traylor had 14 points, a couple of threes, and that blowout win over Syracuse in their last game. Van Lith goes out, we assume, for the rest of the quarter, so she can get an extra rest as we hit the end of the quarter. And Kitley heads to the bench for Virginia Tech. Dixon taking advantage over Baines.
Boy, I really enjoyed Dixon's speed. She came in the game and is playing what I call 7-speed, you know, where she's not too fast, not too slow, and she's letting action happen. She's made 2 good decisions with the basketball in the last 2 plays.
So 7 speed out of 10, is that a scale
I like
of 10?
that. Yeah, some people wouldn't understand that, but to me, that's when you play the best offense.
They force another turnover. Mikasa Robinson, such a great defensive player.
Well said. Well said. And I think it starts with defense with the Cardinals in so many ways. But they invest themselves. You know, the pressure they put on the ball, and I know Coach Walls talked about that, the way they take scouting reports. And I think he was a little bit disappointed in the last game, to be honest with you. But they normally are precise in who they're guarding.
Yeah, great coaching staff as well under Coach Walls. Chelsea Hall driving it into the lane. Her first basket, her family here, part of senior night festivities.
Yeah, wasn't that something to watch them walk out? You know, your heart just, you know, it goes by so fast.
Yes.
But I saw her with her family. But I'll tell you what, she has got strength. And look at that denial.
Who else? Casa Robinson.
Out of the passing lane, deflection into catch, into scoring. That's big time for the Cardinals.
Tech trying to salvage something at the end of the quarter.
Wow.
So far.
Yeah, that's, you got to give a plus to the Cardinals in their defense early, but I got a feeling this is a four-quarter game and we could see some change.
Yeah, 1 point only for Liz Kitley, 1 of 2 from the line as they come in riding a 5-game winning streak, but taking on a Louisville team. Louisville's a tough out anyway, but they're playing them after they lost to North Carolina.
Extremely well said. As a coach, I hated playing a good team coming off a loss. I would have much rather play a good team in say, Coach Wall's situation where they won by 50. Because I think that the reality is that you really get an audience from your team to be ready for the next game, and I think that's what we saw early. But it's a four-quarter game. A lot of things can change.
It's a tough shot by Van Lith, who gets it to go in.
I just see her growing in ways that she can get her offensive game going. She's able to create a little bit more. She's got, different ways to score, and she just continues to grow, to me, as a basketball player.
Yeah, remember, she's just a sophomore.
Right.
At 5'7", had Dana Evans last year to shoulder much of the offensive load. Kitley got stuffed by Exler and then ended up on the court.
Wow. Yeah, I thought Liz did a great job of really competing for the offensive rebound here. The early work she put in, take a look here on the backside. See how she positioned there, had low center of gravity. She's got to do some gritty things like that to get position or to get offensive rebounding as a part of the Hokies' attack.
Kitley right now, a bit of a mismatch with Van Lith on her. They finally get it in to their leading scorer for her first field goal.
Yeah, a lot of good things if I'm watching the Hokies right now, and that's Liz really seeking the ball like that. And the high-low was excellent, but she's really working physically to get position.
That ended an 8-0 Cardinal run. Now Kitley defending Dixon. Trailer gets it to Shepard. That's her first shot of the game, and it goes in.
Yeah. When we were looking at the stats in the first half, I was amazed she hadn't got a shot attempt. But this is an opportunity for her. Take a look at, she is more than just a catch and shoot player. She's got the ability to put it on the floor and be creative. Yep, she said count it. I can see it. This player here, I think, you look across the country, her and Taylor Robertson at Oklahoma are the two best pure shooters that I see in the college game. Just amazingly good shooters, both of them.
Wow, that's quite a compliment. Shepard has the most threes in the history of the ACC, breaking Asia Durr's record. Boy, Angsler. Gosh, they called that on Angsler. Meanwhile, De'Asia Gregg is slow getting up.
Yeah, let's take a look at this, because I'm a little bit perplexed myself as I watch it. As a coach, I used to think I had 20/20 vision on all that kind of things, but after I watch that, I have a better understanding of it.
Yeah, Gregg did have position, and Angsler initiated the contact. That's the first on Angsler. Dixon. And that's what Kitley can do.
She really can, and she's doing early work. She's seeking the ball on the block harder, more physical. And that turnaround, she's excellent at that. Don't be fooled by that shot. That shot is her strength, but she needs good position to start.
Dixon, terrific offensive putback.
Dixon continues to impact the game to me. She's coming in and needs to with Cochran in foul trouble. but she has impacted the game at both ends.
Coming off a new season high 18 points. King, short.
Yeah. Good penetrating pitch. That's Hokie basketball. That's the way they want to play. And that 3 balls, you know, they're going to keep it shooting it. They're going to keep shooting.
They have shot the most in the league this year. Van Litz, the little emphasis at the end.
Yeah, that's good sign language.
Haley Van Lith with 9. The lead is 9. Kitley doubled.
See, she is working now and catching the ball much deeper, Liz is. And what she's forcing is the Cardinals to make a decision whether they're going to double it or not. You know, whether it's too deep. And you can see there they went to the double. But that's going to be the battle. That's going to be the battle for the whole game. And her, if she establishes inside scoring, it will establish the 3 ball that much quicker.
That's a 3-second violation. Baines picked up her dribble.
Yeah, pretty good discipline defensively. You know, that the man-to-man defense by Louisville puts a lot of pressure on you from an offensive standpoint.
It's the first turnover of the quarter for Tech after they had 6 in the first quarter that led to 12 Louisville points. Kitley picks up the foul.
Foul on Virginia Tech's number 33, Kitley.
Just a great pick and roll, hard dive by Dixon. Well, I've become a fan. Pam, I'll tell you, she has impressed me, you know, and especially in this situation with the Cardinals dealing with foul trouble, she has impressed me with her play.
Yes, coming in because Olivia Cochran picked up a couple of quick fouls, but Dixon not just getting it done on the offensive end, but has been affecting Kitley on the defensive end.
Yeah, she makes it a battle. Kitley can play. So it's got to be a battle, and you know, it's one you got to keep waging because Kitley's going to find moments where she's going to score. She's that good. To that effect.
Yeah. And she just proved you right, Dan Hughes.
Yeah.
But that's the second time she has hit that sweet little shot. Coach Brooks would like her to take some 3s as her career goes on. That's the next thing that she's working on. Says she hits them in practice. Didn't get the roll.
Well, you know, Coach Brooks watches film with her after every game. And I think he has had a lot of influence on her growing in the game. And I think that 3-point shot is definitely down the road. Her touch and her ability to shoot that is going to happen. And I'd bet on it.
Three-ball miss by King. Now Enksler trying to get it inside. Kitley stepped in the path. Ball stays with the Cards. Van Lith, another little fadeaway, just a little bit too strong. Dixon again.
Yeah.
Enksler left open. Boy, Kitley and Dixon just getting tangled up, and they get Dixon with the foul.
Yeah, that's a battle. You know, we're watching it play at both ends of the floor. Take a look right here. Both teams working hard. You can see that, you know, that it's interesting because officials oftentimes watch for that clamp. And you could honestly see the potential for that right there. I don't think they felt that was necessarily the case, but they look for that on a lot of those tie-ups inside.
So now Dixon goes to the bench with 2 personal fouls. Cochran's still over there. She had 2 in the first quarter. And Marissa Russell has checked in. Number 13 in white for Louisville. Kiana Smith kept it going. The ball will be Tech's when we come back.
We have a timeout on the floor.
As we head in to the last week of the regular season. It will be over a week from today.
Wow. You know, but it is leading in conference tournament time, and it is one of the best.
Oh boy, Amore, they drew that up to try to get her onto the score sheet, but she missed the layup.
Yeah, she is a player that has made a huge difference in conference play. She has gotten better and better.
Oh, no looker. Axel missed it the first time, but got fouled on the second chance. Probably apologizing to Van Lith for blowing that assist.
That's really well said. If you watch the penetration here, it's just a great job, not only of knowing who to throw the ball to, but putting it in a position for the finish. And that's so much of the key. Now, she don't get an assist on that, but somewhere, you know, there ought to be a stat
Yes.
that gives that to her, because that was good basketball right there.
Eventually did lead to the 2 points. Louisville missed 6 of its last 8 field goals before that flourish. Baines kicked it out a little bit. And then the tough one-handed shot rebounded by Axler, and Chelsea Hall wasn't looking for it.
That's coming right at us, man.
Yeah. Axler with one of her few mistakes. Her family here from New York. And they played videos for each of the seniors, and there she atones for the mistake.
And don't you love that? Don't you just love that when a player gets to the next play? They don't let the mistake of the former play impact them being in the moment. And kudos to Emily for stepping up in that big defensive play.
Yep, just threw the ball away and then stole it and scored. And I think they're going to get a technical foul here. So Joe Vasili pointing over towards Kenny Brooks.
Yeah.
A technical foul has been assessed to the Virginia Tech bench.
On the Virginia Tech bench, Joe Vasili with the call, aided by Billy Smith and Teresa Stuck, who were all three very happy to see you here today, Dan Hughes.
Well, that was nice. We go back a long time, but talking about, you know, I probably would have found my way up to have conversation about that call as well as Coach Brooks right there, because that pretty good move by Liz inside, had a lot of strength, and you can see he's continuing a little bit of a dialogue here.
Yeah, they've been physical with her, and Coach Brooks thinks a little bit too much. Van Lith hits both of the technical free throws. He continues to lobby with Billy Smith.
Yeah, and I can see what Billy's saying. Yeah, we're going to watch that. We're going to watch, and that's what a good official tells you. And the thing that I always appreciate is when they get you, go coach your team. And there were times it was hard, but when you go back to coaching your team, and Liz is working to get position, so this is just a battle, and the battle will play out as the game goes on.
14-point lead, biggest of the game for the Cards. Russell almost pulled it. There she is, a Canadian. A little bit too strong off the rim. Missed a couple of games when she was in a qualifier, and that's great that Jeff Walz lets her do that.
I think it's just really smart. National teams are very important, and the Canadian national team qualified for the World Cup, and so good for them and good for Jeff letting that happen.
Great international experience, Canadian national team. A new coaching change, a lot of young talent.
Yeah, the Hokies do a good job defensively of staying in place. You're not going to see the turnovers in the offense out of their defense like you'll see from Louisville, but what you're going to see is them stay in plays. And when they're really playing well, they're contesting a lot of shots.
Kitley was tapped on the arm. By Axler. And that sends Kitley back to the free throw line, the new and improved Elizabeth Kitley. And we'll see how quickly she'll get the shot up. One dribble and go, it works.
Yeah.
Next Sunday, a women's basketball quadruple header on the ACC network and the ESPN app. And look at this one, NC State and Virginia Tech at 6 Eastern. Part of that coming up. You can catch it on the app as well.
That's right. That's right. It is the time of year that you just enjoy the competitive nature of the finish line.
And that is the finish. That will be the final regular season game for everyone next Sunday before the ACC tournament in Greensboro. Haley Van Lith pleading her case.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Haley is tough-minded. Well, she just, is ready for whatever 50-50 play pops up. She's going to go make sure it's 75-25 in her favor.
Virginia Tech has gone over 4.5 minutes without a field goal. Missing 6 in a row. Gregg took steps.
That's called Cardinal basketball.
And you can see what Virginia Tech's dealing with a little bit. They're being forced to put the ball on the ground and create play with that situation. There's a couple, that is possible. I don't know if that's their strength. What their strength may be is finding ways to get the ball to move and find space to catch and shoot the three, or to get it to Liz inside and let her go to work.
Oh, man, it's so smooth.
We have 1 minute left in the half.
I always like to see the close of halves. I think it's so important, in the game as it plays out. The Cardinals doing a good job of really buckling down here, trying to separate a little bit as we close the half.
Second foul on Chelsea Hall. And it sends Asia Shepherd to the free throw line.
She replaces Gregg.
It was so interesting to me to have Coach Brooks relate a story when she became the ACC's all-time three-point shooting champion. They brought her to the men's game the next day along with Coach Brooks, and she walked out, and the entire Hokie Nation that was at the game stood up and gave her a standing ovation. And I think it really meant a lot, for Coach Brooks and her to share that moment.
Yes. And the basketball community down there in Blacksburg.
Yeah.
And Shepherd having a tough go of it so far today with just 4 points. Van Lith picked up her dribble and then got the shot blocked by Lytle. And Virginia Tech can all but kill the remaining time in the half. Here's Traylor running the point with Amor on the bench. Shepherd just blanketed by Robinson. Robinson fell down. They get it to Kitley, who was fouled by Marissa Russell.
With 1 second to go, and it's been a struggle for the Hokies to find the ball movement that they've been a part of, that they're kind of used to doing. But one of the keys is going to be catches by Liz right there, and her ability to go to work inside. And I got a feeling halftime's going to be a lot of things talked about, and we may see some growth here in the second half.
Kitley, 3 of 5 from the line, has 4 of 6, 10 points.
Yeah, to me, Louisville has just done a great job of playing out of their defense. To me, that's the story. They're getting offense out of their defense. They're making it really hard for the Hokies to really find the rhythm they want. So check in the first half to Louisville.
And Tech just 2 of 10 from 3. Dallin Cuff and Muffet McGraw in the studio as we hit the half for the season. But one thing Tech has to do, clean up their turnovers.
Yeah.
17 points for Louisville coming off of 9 Virginia Tech turnovers, and usually they average the fewest turnovers in the league.
Absolutely, 12. So you can see that's really unusual for them.
That is Dan Hughes. I'm Pam Ward joining you this afternoon. In Louisville's last home game, Van Lith took a bit of a hard spill over there near the photographers.
Yeah.
shaking her right hand. She's left-handed, so maybe that's the lesser of two evils. At least it wasn't her left hand, but she's a tough kid.
She is. She is, and it's going to be interesting to watch the early part of this third quarter because I think both coaches, I'm sure, had a team paying attention. This is a big game, and I got a feeling the Hokies had some things to talk about. Let's see how it plays out.
Oh, that'll work. Drawing the double over there. Baines got it to Kitley.
Yeah, great job there of just seeking position. You know, the Cardinals do a great job of taking space away. That's what defense is all about. But sometimes fatigue gets in the second half a little bit, and you can get some better real estate, so to speak, and that's an example of better real estate right there.
Probably the easiest look that Kitley has had all game, but you got to figure out Haley Van Lent.
I don't want the creative nature of her game that I'm watching evolve. I just love, angles and step-throughs and different ways to score. She has been outstanding today, especially as a finisher.
A very crafty player. That Kitley field goal, by the way, was their first since the 6-minute mark of the second quarter. Relying some on free throws, and that's a offensive foul. They're going to get that from Azana Baines. Her second, former Duke Blue Devil.
Yeah,
Transfer portals change a lot of things, haven't it?
Oh, they have.
Oh, my gosh. Understatement?
Yeah, but yeah, you get to buy a new scorecard every year for the fans because you want to make sure you know who's where. But you can see the Cardinals really making Shepherd put the ball on the floor. And I think she can, but it's a lesser of evils when dealing with her because she's such a good catch-and-shoot player.
Cochran, who was limited to only 3.5 minutes in the first half because of foul trouble, making an impact.
Nice finish. Nice finish. And you got to look at the Cardinals. They let her sit. She only played 3 minutes in the first half, but they got her now with only 2 fouls. And they got good play out of Dixon, especially in the first half, to allow Coach Walls to allow her to sit and now have 3 fouls to play with in the second.
That's such a luxury for Coach to be able to send them in with very little difference. Louisville on the run. Smith just blew right by Kayla King.
He did. She has an excellent first step, north-south drive in transition. The hardest play to make is the ability to get back. And I'll tell you right now, Cardinals on a roll.
The ACC's Committee for Racial and Social Justice, in conjunction with its member institutions, have identified February 19th through the 26th as ACC Unity Week. As part of this initiative, members of the Virginia Tech Hokies and Louisville Cardinals join one another on the court to demonstrate their commitment to seeing each other as equals and treating each other with respect and dignity at all times, recognizing that our differences don't divide us, but make us stronger. Pam Morton, Dan Hughes joining you this afternoon. Also the pink game for Louisville, not wearing the pink unis. They wore them earlier, but they had the pink sneakers on, the very inspiring Survivor March we saw at halftime. And my partner here, Dan Hughes, a cancer survivor yourself.
I am, and these games always mean a lot to me, and they mean even more when you deal with cancer. But the courage of that group walking around here is just takes my breath away, and it's one of the best things women's basketball has done, not only at the collegiate level, but at the pro level, is to raise money and call attention.
Shepherd with the air ball, and Louisville, their initiative here is also in conjunction with the K-Yao Cancer Fund, which ESPN is a proud partner as well in that fight. And we're glad to say that you're doing well.
Yeah,
you're looking well. You're retired. You don't have the stress of coaching now. You're just doing silly TV and doing well.
Yeah, but it's I'm very, very thankful for just the opportunity to be a part of the basketball scene. And even though I'm not coaching anymore, I tell you, it's still a daily occurrence to me to appreciate and enjoy and watching these players grow and play. And these are 2 good teams today we're seeing.
Angsler off the hesitation, couldn't get it to go, but boy, Cochran, Kitley grabs the rebound, and with that, Elizabeth Kitley has another double-double, but then Virginia Tech turns it right over. Kenny Brooks trying to stay positive.
Yeah, and you can see on the court, you could see Liz draw her teammates together. Come on, let's hang in there. But that's, you know, defense that Louisville plays creates you playing a little faster than you want to play sometimes. That's one of the, it's not all about the turnovers. Sometimes you don't run your offense at the same speed. And right now, you got to appreciate what the Cardinals are doing.
And that time Virginia Tech forces the turnover. And we have not seen much of Georgia Amor. We talked about her at the beginning of the game. She's only played 16 minutes, does not have a single point. The point guard who really, in the last 2 or 3 weeks, she's co-ACC Player of the Week last week, but really struggling today, and we haven't seen her on the floor much.
No, she has really stepped up. The Australian has really, her confidence in conference play, which is easily the most difficult part of their schedule, and she's excelled. But today, it's been a battle.
Yeah, and there you see it, and she's very engaged over on the floor. The Australian, because of COVID, has not been home in, gosh, almost a couple of years now. Her family were able to come during Christmas time, and Coach Kenny Brooks said that really kind of revitalized her.
Sure.
I mean, and not just away, but halfway around the world away. But very talented young point guard who has become the third scorer, which they desperately needed to complement Shepard and Kitley, even though everybody except Kitley's having trouble scoring today.
Well, you knew right away that the Cardinals really respected her game, because in the shoot-arounds they were spending a lot of time to guard Georgia. Yep. You know, and that was not lost on me when I heard them talk about it.
And we're going to come back in. Louisville with a 15-point advantage. Order was Dimpet Tuck, and Boston College, according to Charlie Cream, is one of the last teams into the field. Yeah. And Virginia Tech, to say the least, and you credit Louisville's defense for these numbers. Shepard, Amor, and Baines really struggling.
Yeah.
Amor and Shepard are the two of the top 3 scorers on this team. Shepard just 1 of 4 from the floor, and Amor, as we discussed, has been shut out. Liz Kitley doing her part with the double-double, and Amor still on the bench. Yeah,
and Kitley has. You know, Liz, to me, has played a really solid game. You thought that might impact the ability to get open, but look at the defense of the Cardinals. They're just getting a ton of offense out of their defense, and that in the full court right there.
Actually, only the second turnover for Tech in this quarter, and the first points off turnovers, but it's been over 5 minutes since they have scored.
Yeah, you can see. Look where they're starting their offense. They're a step outside the 3. They're just not in their normal positions that they play to in so many situations.
All force that turnover. Georgia Amor will check in for Tech at the next whistle. Try to get things going. Cochran hesitated, then drove on Kitley, who blocked it.
Yeah. Good example there. Double team, pressure on the ball, and a bounce pass. Probably the slowest pass possible, and running right through it.
Timeout. Louisville up big. Here's a reminder to fans to download the ACC 3-Point Challenge app presented by New York Life to help benefit local Boys and Girls Clubs. Score points for your school, and after the tournament, the local Boys and Girls Club will receive a donation from New York Life based on their affiliated ACC team's final rankings. Kitley coming up with yet another rebound. Pam Ward and Dan Hughes joining you. Georgia Amor back onto the floor, number 5 in black for Virginia Tech. The point guard has been sitting this entire quarter, and she has just been hounded by the Louisville defense today. Greg not even looking towards the basket. Here's Kitley. She's been doing most of the work.
And that was as good of offensive possession coming out of that timeout that I have seen in this game. That's the kind of execution they're going to need.
Out of bounds, possession.
Just a great job. See, ball movement went side to side. Look at the pin. That's a weak side pin by Liz, and that fall away is deadly.
Kitley 5 of 9 from the floor. The rest of her teammates 6 of 24. Van Lith solid all afternoon.
Yeah. She has led this Cardinal attack, you know, with all kinds of versatile type of scoring, and just her toughness has been representative.
Ensler quickly outlets out to Kiana Smith, one senior to the other.
Smith is a hard guard in transition. When you have to close out and get in a stance, she is north-south. And by north-south, I mean that's a direct line drive to the basket.
Gosh, the lead up to 19 as we hit 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Tech has only scored 4 points in this quarter. Kitley had one rim out. Ensler, nice head fake, and then reverses.
Just little things. She readjusted, caught the ball, got a closeout, and broke it down.
Louisville running away with it right now. Thursday at 10 Eastern after our women's basketball doubleheader. The women's Nothing But Net crew will break down the night in the ACC. Look at that group.
Yeah.
And then on Saturday, it's the men taking over at 9 Eastern time on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. Kelly Kelsey, Coach McGraw, Chelsea Gray.
I like her a lot better as an analyst than trying to figure out how to guard her. I love her work on TV, but trying to figure out how to guard her was one of the many I could never solve.
Yeah, Dan Hughes winning that championship with the Seattle Storm, longtime coach. You coach Becky Hammond, who's going into the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame and now going to be coaching the Aces.
Well, and I'll tell you what, I drafted Penny Taylor. Penny Taylor's going in. Speaking of, Georgia, shout out to the Australian. I'm very proud to see both those players going into the Hall of Fame. What just really excites me.
And not just great basketball players, but great people as well.
Yeah.
Gosh, Becky Hammond, one of the all-time terrific stories. Undrafted out of Colorado State, which was the only really Division I school that even wanted her.
Yeah. No, and I coached her 8 years, and she taught me how important leadership was on the court. She evolved into, she did more to coach the basketball team than I did as coach. Because that on-the-court leadership is so vital, and Beck, it doesn't surprise me at all what she's been done in coaching and what she's about to do.
Amor finally scores her first points.
Yeah, you wonder if that's going to get them going, and do they have enough time? The thing that we haven't talked about is, and you see it right there, the execution. Louisville has just not turned the ball over. Just have really been efficient and valued the ball.
Yes, only 5 turnovers for Louisville. They average about 14.5 per game. That foul was on Kitley. Now Van Lith heads to the line. Last 11 games, she's been averaging over 16 points. And she is over that today, and with the make, more pressure.
Yeah.
Ensler reached in, stripped it.
I don't even have the proper words for that one. That was just too beautiful to even say anything about. Great control of her body, so athletic, just a very entertaining finish.
And with those points, Emily has a double-double, so she makes the great defensive play, as you mentioned, and then some style points when she went in to hit the layup. And she's very even-keeled. You know, especially earlier in her career at Syracuse, sometimes you'd see the frustration more on the court. Yeah. But I mean, that was a heck of a play, and the fans love it.
Oh, they do. And the thing you love about her is she plays the game with a zest, with a lot of feeling and passion. And that's what makes her who she is. But at the same time, you got to kind of know when you kind of need to back off a little bit. She's learning all that, but I just love the zest she plays with, and I think that's a trademark that she's going to carry in her career.
Yeah, maturing, certainly. Her foul sent her to the bench. Lytle hit 1 out of 2 at the line for Virginia Tech. Emily Engster, a kid who's from New York City. And again, is not going to use her final year of eligibility. Is going to go out and become a pro. It's grown a lot in her just 1 season under Jeff Walz and his staff.
Yeah, you can see Georgia with the ball right now. That matchup with her and Haley has been really entertaining to watch.
Kitley triple teamed as Verhulst came over. Shepard, wow.
Now, I love that possession, too. You know, inside out, side to side, you're seeing the Hokies rewarded for those types of offensive actions. Oh, my God.
Van Lith was able to split the defenders and somehow got the pass over. She's had a couple of really nice ones that haven't resulted in buckets yet.
Yeah, she's got a nice smile on her face, and she deserves it. That was a clever pass. Coming down the lane, under traffic, congestion, and just gets it off. And that pocket pass is not easy to deliver, let alone to put it right where Dixon needs it.
Shepard came over and fouled her. As you saw, Kitley went over to what she thought would be to help on Van Lith's shot attempt.
Yeah.
So Smith comes in. Van Lith heads to the bench. Just 0.6 of a second left, and what was a big quarter for Louisville, outscoring Tech by 10. And some great work by Engstler. And Hall apiece. Smith here for 2 years after starting her career at Cal.
That's a sign of the times, as you and I were talking, and that's probably going to see that more and more as time goes on.
Yep, with the transfer portal. And look, Liz Kitley, 5 of 10. Rest of the team, only 7 of 25. That's 28% for people not known or not called Elizabeth Kitley. That's just been the kind of day. Asia Shepard, Georgia Amore, very capable and talented scorers, but this Louisville defense has been suffocating.
It really has, and I think Kitley has impacted, her game has been kind of what you would expect. She's battled for position. She's got a double-double almost at halftime. She's scoring inside. She's doing all the things, but that hasn't been enough, you know, to get their ball movement and to get the scoring from around her. Just really hasn't quite played out to Louisville's credit. The Cardinals have done a great job, I think, of putting a lot of ball pressure and denial.
Virginia Tech has not helped itself at the free throw line. Lytle dismissed them both, and then a three. Kiana Smith knocking it down. And another big stat that we just saw flash up on the screen, Virginia Tech is 2 of 13 from 3. Kitley continues to almost be a one-man band out there, but then this is a team that really relies on the 3, and they only have 2 on the deck. Kiana Smith. Virginia Tech timeout.
Yeah, you can see Coach Brooks calling timeout. Some things to talk about. Louisville on a roll.
And Haley Van Lith with a team high 18. She's had some highlight reel passes as well.
She's played the game. She has been an absolute leader on the court for the Cardinals, and from the beginning right through here to the fourth quarter.
Georgia Amore, boy, Kitley continuing just to work, gets that fade away.
Impressive. You know, she early recognized, I'm not going to get the ball easily. I'm going to have to work beforehand. And she's put in early work, and she's finished inside. And as difficult a day as it's going to be for the Hokies, you got to tip your hat to Liz. I mean, she's a player.
And she is in pain right now. Something happened to Kitley, holding onto her right arm. And that elbow. Got wrapped up there with Liz Dixon.
Yeah.
And now the officials, Joe Basile, going over to the monitor to take a look at it. Elizabeth Kitley is a junior and played on the same AAU team as.
We are looking at the foul, the last play for a possible intentional foul.
Lisa Cunane and Kayla King were all on the same AAU team. And let's take a look. Do you think this was an intentional foul?
Don't really see that. I don't see anything that they're going to necessarily latch onto, but they're going to see a couple angles. Here's another angle. Let's take a look. No, I really don't. That's a little bit of trying to, you know, not only upper body. She used her upper body a little bit, but she used her feet too. It was.
The officials, Billy Smith, Joe Basile, and Teresa Stuck, talking it over. Did not look like an intentional foul to either one of us. But Kitley just getting. Almost looked like a semi-swim move by Dixon to try to get around her. And Kitley looks like she's going to stay on the floor. Thank goodness that she seems to be all right.
Now assessing the Cardinals number 22, Liz Dixon, is her fourth. And the team is third. Second in for the Cardinals number 44, Olivia Cochran.
So it's been called a common foul on Dixon. And that is her fourth.
Yeah.
Sitting next to Stephanie Norman over there on the bench. Associate head coach. Miss Kitley in a pre-med program, says her hardest class is anatomy. I'm sure she could tell us exactly what happened and why it hurt. Amor hits the three, only the third three of the game for Tech.
And it came off a screen. You could see Georgia come off that screen, make the catch and shoot. And that's something that I think, you know, the Hokies are going to look back and say, well, maybe if we had been able to screen and move, we might have created more opportunities for three.
Alana Smith, I think, was fixing to get that ball over to Cochran. Lost the ball out of bounds.
They replace Alana Smith and Peyton Burhoff.
Louisville's next game is at Pittsburgh, and then they finish up at Notre Dame a week from today before the ACC tournament.
Both these teams have gone through periods of playing ranked teams in the ACC and have fared pretty well. You know, there's no doubt probably the Cardinals have the most difficult schedule to end the season with.
Virginia Tech is a team that has lost only 3 conference games all year. All of them have been on the road against ranked teams at North Carolina, at NC State, at Notre Dame, and they're going to lose today at Louisville.
But you know, it's interesting to me because I think sometimes you learn things along the road in a season. And you see Coach Brooks here, who does a great job with this team. They're going to learn some things about playing the Cardinals. They're going to learn some things. They're doing some things right now that if these two meet again, and there's a great chance they will in the ACC tournament, that they're going to benefit from. You learn something every game, and sometimes it's most valuable when you get to tournament time.
Coach Brooks able to use a lot of different players and combinations as well, trying to figure things out. But Louisville, so impressive coming off that loss to Carolina. Cochran lowers his shoulder. Kitley gets another rebound.
Yeah, her rebounding has been astounding.
Oh, look at Haley Van Lith. Hustling all the way.
I tell you, anything that is a 50-50 ball, put your money on Haley to come out with it, because she makes tough play after tough play.
Look at that, 10 steals now for Louisville.
Yeah.
So when it's with her, it's not a 50-50 ball. It's
No.
probably more like 80-20, right?
No.
But she's going to get it.
Exactly.
Amor hit one just a little while ago. That one was wide left.
Yeah.
Louisville with some quality depth on this team this season.
Yeah, they go 9 deep, and they get very quality play out of it. And I thought the Hokies, you know, they go about 8 deep, and they got good play early off the bench. Wow, that's just tough-minded, high-low basketball. Emily very much showing the different skills she has. But I love the pass right here. That's a great pass away from defense, and then just a beautiful finish inside for Emily.
Completes the three-point play after getting fouled by Lytle. Virginia Tech scoring 27 points in the first half, and they are at that 27 points right now.
Foul on the Cardinals, number 21, Emily Eastler, her fourth.
We're 17 points, excuse me, in this half.
We're starting to really see, I think, Georgia's game. And unfortunately, we're seeing it kind of late. You know, she is a more confident, assertive in all the things that she's doing. You know, and you can see how she has really impacted this team in conference play, especially. And I got a feeling she's going to learn some things like that. You know, you don't like losses. You just don't. But the truth is, sometimes those lessons can be an incredible vehicle as you get into tournament basketball.
And Georgia Amor, the point guard, just a sophomore. Robinson thought about it, and some of her teammates got up on the bench. They really wanted her to shoot. Angster working.
Efficient, tough-minded presence inside. She is really coming into her own in the latter part of this game. Look at the early work and the strength, leverage with her lower body, catches it, focus on finishing, doing the little things, and doing the early work to let her athleticism and her skill speak.
Now, you've used that phrase a lot today, early work, so that's big in your book.
It's big in my book because people don't talk about it, but players understand, you know, things just don't happen. They happen because I position myself, because I move without the ball. If you do the early work, then it leads to your strengths, and your strengths come out.
Amor. Angster crashes to the floor, fouled by Lytle.
That foul is possession to the Cardinals.
Excuse me, no foul call. They're going to just say the ball was out of bounds. That was a lot of contact. Fans here wondering why that wasn't a foul. Another great crowd here. This is one of the great places to see a women's basketball game.
Yeah.
A lot of people coming out wearing their pink. In the last home game, they will get to see them in the NCAA tournament. They're a shoe-in to host first and second round.
Absolutely.
Virginia Tech projected as a 5 seed by Charlie Cream, which would send them on the road in the first and second round. There you see common occurrence. A lot of people in the stands.
Oh, it's just a great atmosphere, you know, and what is so fun is to just walk around town. Last night I was taking a little walk around the downtown area, and people talking about basketball. And it just this city has really supported the product here, you know, and this Cardinal team is brought it right back to him.
Angsler knocks it out of bounds. Jeff Wall's doing such an incredible job, remarkably already in his 15th year, 12th straight 20-win season. He's won 30 games 3 times, and is just, you know, early on he would say fans could come out, they didn't like it, he would refund their money, and I don't think he had to give a lot of money back.
No, I don't think so.
You come in the building and people just keep coming back.
Yeah.
Traylor draws the foul.
I love the version of Georgia that we're seeing right now. You know, her strength, her just kind of looking to make plays in those situations. Oh, excuse me, that's KT. I meant KT.
Yeah, Kiana Traylor. And that's it's interesting you say that, because Coach Brooks calls Traylor and Amor Thing 1 and Thing 2 because they look alike.
They do.
And he said to me early in the season, I guarantee you're going to mix them up one time, you know, at some point, and he was absolutely right.
Oh, I feel better.
No, it happens. He said it happens to everybody.
I feel better.
Because they're similar and they play similarly as well.
They do.
Yep. So
But
thing 1 and Thing 2.
And you got the Hokies playing a little zone defense here in the latter part, where and what's really interesting is that the Tech defensive strategy a lot of times is stay in plays and not allow people to finish. But what has disturbed that is they've given up a lot of transitional play by turnovers from their offense, and it kind of skews that philosophy a little bit.
Angsler, ball magnet. There's Amor. Traylor's on the bench now. Why not? There's the 3.
Yeah.
Emily Lytle. Just 23% from distance on the season. And that is the 4th 3 of the game for a Tech team that averages 9. Best in the ACC, but up against a great defense today. Next Sunday, final regular season day, we'll have a quadruple header on the ACC Network and the ESPN app, and you will see these Hokies hosting NC State, a team that beat them earlier this year in Raleigh. Check it out, 6 Eastern on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. And Kitley and Cunane, the buddies, the former AAU teammates, get together for the 2nd time this year.
I believe they're both on the Lisa Leslie watch, and that will be a fun one to watch. You know, there'll be a lot of eyes on that post play.
Fans here want to travel, but instead they call the foul. And there you see them. We just referenced them, and they're on the wooden late season top 20 out of the ACC. Cunane, a senior, Kitley a year younger. And Kenny Brooks recruited both of them. And obviously he loves Cunane, as Emily Angsler gets a standing ovation after she fouled out on senior day. And she acknowledges the crowd. They'll see her again in the NCAA tournament.
Absolutely, they will. But isn't that nice to have a moment as a senior? That's kind of what college athletics is all about, even if it's only for 1 year that she was here.
Yep, she was. They're not going to soon forget her.
No.
But when Coach Brooks was recruiting both Kitley and Cunane, he was really excited about. Kitley was a little bit more raw, but he saw that potential. Yeah. And you've seen it and spoken about it, so he has at least another year with her.
It excites me, you know, and I know her father was a post player himself at Wake Forest. Am I thinking right? He used to be on the men's side, so I remember something.
Yep.
But the truth is, she's still developing. There's an upside with Liz that she's still coming into it. She could be a very, very, very skilled post player, and I love the grit she had to stay in position today.
And meanwhile, this Louisville team and Emily Angsler bouncing back from that disappointing loss against North Carolina. They have Pitt and Notre Dame left, and Coach Walls, we had that quote at the beginning of the game. We could either be a Final Four team or lose in the 2nd round. If they play like this, do you think they're a Final Four team?
I do, and if you would see the rest of the quote, You know, it's pretty good strategy. What he's saying to him is that we didn't pay attention to our scouting report. You know, the strength that we have, not only are we good defensively, but we have the ability also to really lock in. And he didn't feel like they were locked in. So when you say that to the team and the team realizes, okay, yeah, we better every game lock in to all the things the coaches are talking about, to watch the film. So and that's when you have an audience.
Yeah.
When you lose, you have an audience. And I think he did a great job of getting them to concentrate on the correct things, and you're seeing it play out today.
Charlie Cream has them projected as a #1 seed, #4 overall, as NC State is #3 overall. And still one more week to play in the regular season.
Well, can we give Charlie a shout out, man?
Absolutely.
I gotta tell you, I love tuning in and kind of seeing what's changing, what's happening, and my guy that shares love of music, the rock group Rush. You know, I share that, but I love every day, you know, and when I don't see he's updated it, I'm like, come on, Charlie, what are you doing?
Yeah, he does a terrific job,
Great job.
and the accuracy is amazing.
Yeah.
You kidding me?
Yeah.
What a game for Haley Van Lith. She's now got 20.
And that, to me, shows not only she played well, but she's led. She's a leader. I don't care what class or school she's in. I know she's a sophomore. She's a leader, and she knew that this is the game I need to lead.
He's done that from start to finish. Kitley will have a chance to shoot some more free throws.
Coming down the lane, you're just seeing her release the ball at different points and create, you know, more moves to finish. You can't help but notice her, even when she stepped on the court for the Cardinals, you know, how hard she plays, how tough she is. But the skill development is coming, and you can see it really been expressed today in the game.
ACC all-freshman performer last year. Her third 20-point game of the season. Was the supplemental scorer beside Dana Evans last year. Now more of an ensemble for Louisville. And she has been terrific on both ends of the floor this afternoon. Cochran stripped on the way up. And now Liz Kitley checking out. 21 points, 13 rebounds, and just the shining. Oh boy, if that would have gone in, I think the roof would have gone off of this place. It looks like Kitley's day is done. She also had 3 blocks to go along with her double-double in points and rebounds.
Tough-minded finish for the Hokies. Today wasn't going to be a day that they were going to find themselves on the top side of the score, but they will learn a lot from this, and this is a good basketball team. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Kiana Smith takes her bow as a senior.
Let's make sure. I'll tell you what, time and time again, she was a factor in transition, able to get to the rim consistently throughout the game, recognizing the crowd. That's nice.
Kim Linzer has a lot of fun out there. Congratulations to Asia Shepard. A difficult afternoon, but 8 points today, and she is now the all-time leading scorer in the history of Virginia Tech women's basketball, passing Renee Dennis, who played there in the mid-'80s. I'm sure that she would trade that in for a win today, but a great career for Asia Shepard, who decided to come back and use her COVID year, if you will. That last applause you heard was for Chelsea Hall going out, the final senior.
Yeah, Hall, you know, one of those players that really just adds to the sum today. Did all the right things, led the team. Great finish for her on this home court.
And a terrific win For Louisville, they take it 70-56.
Yeah, the Cardinals were ready to play today, and their defense really spoke volumes in this basketball game. These two teams are going to be heard from going into the ACC tournament and into the NCAA tournament. But tonight, you got to take your hats off to the Cardinals, and especially their defensive play.
Yeah, they limited Virginia Tech to just 4 threes on the game, which is a big part of their arsenal. So Haley Van Lip, 20 points to lead the way. Emily Angsler right behind her with 19. Double-double for Liz Kitley, but not enough. And they have beaten Tech for the 9th straight time. For Dan Hughes, I'm Pam Ward as we thank you for joining us. Louisville wins it 70-56.